Hello, my beautiful mystic hearts, and welcome to today's love reading. So, I was getting quite a love-filled feeling as I'm sitting down to do this message today. So, it's quite a relaxed, love-filled feeling. So, it will be really interesting to see what comes out in the cards. So, as always, I'm going to do a check-in with you and the relationships. I've got the little black cards here today. We'll do a check-in. We'll see around what's around you in love, how you're actually viewing this connection, and then we'll tap in and really get into the person that's on your mind, the person that you feel that you're in this connection with. So let's get straight into it. So we'll do, as I said, we'll do these little black cards to start with. We'll just get your energy in. So what's around this beautiful main collective that we're channeling today? Spirit, what's in this beautiful main collective? All right. It's also extremely windy here today, so you could be, I don't know why this thought just came to me, but you could actually be watching this reading in a storm. I just heard that. So for some of you that might actually resonate, but like it is just very, very windy where I am at the moment. All right, so this beautiful main collective. So I'm just going to split the deck here to start with and just see what's currently around you at the moment. So let's have a look. All right, so we've got photograph, and yeah, we do. I'll get there in a second. We've got photograph and we've got camera. So a couple of things here. So we've got both are reminiscing cards here. So we've got them one after the other. So I think that you are in deep Six of Cups energy at the moment. So that real reminiscing, really looking back at the past energy. I hear not just about this connection though. I feel that this is also just in your life in general. I think that you are really examining your shadow at the moment, is what I just heard. So really examining your shadow, really looking at past relationships, and just really looking at those past toxic cycles and not wanting to repeat anything. I just heard you're really trying to break free of toxicity, toxic cycles, toxic relationships in with your life. So when we've got camera and photograph, yes, I do think you're absolutely looking at this person. So we'll get to that, but not just at this person. I think you're actually looking back at your life in general. And really just examining the things that no longer serve you anymore. So also a real Eight of Cups energy as well. So really walking away from that does not serve you. I'm really closing out toxic cycles is what I've heard. Not only in relationships, but just in your life in general. Also heard addictions as well. Anyway, I've got a flurry of messages coming through to me, so I will try to keep this as concise as possible. But yes, I'm definitely feeling that you're moving into a really positive period in your life, a really period of abundance. But here, right, so if we get back to the cards again, so we've got camera and photograph, so real reminiscing energy, like I said. Back to the person on your mind, though, is I definitely think that you are looking very much at this person at the moment. So really in deep reminiscing. I think you've got old photos of this person, also old videos. I think this person also has old photos and videos of you as well. But look, looking at photos, missing you, nostalgia, and wanting to make new memories. And then we've got reminiscing keepsake. Like I said, we've got really heavy reminiscing energy here. So I think that you are really reflecting on the past that you had with this person. I also get the feeling that it's been quite some time since you've spoken to this person. I don't think that there's been any contact between the two of you for quite some time. So that's probably also leading to this real nostalgia feeling, this real need to be going back and looking at old photos. I hope that you're not getting on this person's socials. I hope that you're not actually stalking them. I mean that in the nicest possible way, but I hope that you're not. I just heard that. At least energetically stalking them. I hope not. Oh, gosh. Hopefully it's not a tower moment you're going through. I just losing the cards there, but here we go. All right, so let's get a few more cards here just to confirm what is around you in this connection. That photograph really wants to come out. That was the healthier choices card, by the way. So confirming exactly what I was picking up. And just one more, please, just for the top row. There we go. All right, so what have we got? So this one came out. So seduction. So fun, flirting, dating, hooking up, healthier choices. That photograph card came back out again. Not today. And an engagement ring. So interesting cards we've got here. Hopefully you can also see that on camera properly. The light here is getting, it's getting to winter here. So the light here is, the sun is sort of going in and out from under the clouds. So hopefully it's not too much of a shadow there. But we've got seduction here. So attraction, flirting, dating, hooking up, temptation, third party. I think that this was this relationship with this person. And this is what, I'm actually going to move these. This is what you're reminiscing on. So this was a bit of a short-lived romance, you and this person, which doesn't surprise me if you do identify with a divine connection. Those are those cards falling off. I hope that you're not going through a tower at the moment, or maybe you've just come out of a tower. Just having to pick these cards up again. Probably should have put you on pause for that, but the cards just all fell on the floor, which is very strange. So I hope that you're okay at the moment, to be honest. Why do I get the sense that you've just come out of something really quite rough at the moment, or you're sort of coming out of something? You've been in a bit of a dark place potentially, but you're coming back out of it. Maybe that's why I've got such a relaxed, sort of loved-filled feeling, is that you are moving into a new karmic, into a new cycle. I shouldn't say karmic cycle, into a new cycle. You've closed out a karmic cycle. But I think, so back to the cards again. So I think, so fun, flirting, dating. I think that this was the relationship that you had with this person. I do think that it was a short-lived romance. What I was trying to say before the cards all fell on the floor is that this is very typical of a divine connection, in particular twin flame. We'll see if the twin flame card does come out, but typically they are very short-lived romances. They're very, very triggering. When you meet your divine counterpart, it's a very triggering connection, and it's not long before essentially all of your trauma, all of your shadow, all of your wounds are highlighted by this person, and then the divine will then step in and then separate the two of you so that you can then go on your individual healing journeys. Then once, of course, you've been able to heal sufficiently, then the universe will then bring you back into alignment again. I don't think that you're in alignment with this person, though, for this main collective. So I think I'm really getting the feeling that there has been some time between messages, between contact, between periods of contact. But definitely this is what you're looking over. So back to that really that nostalgic feeling, that real Six of Cups energy that I was picking up on. And I think that this is what you're going back over. I think that this person really also did make you feel like a third party, that they made you feel like there were a lot of priorities ahead of you. And also I just heard as well that this person did have a lot of karmic relationships around them when you did meet them. So not just romantically as well. In fact, it might not have even been romantic for this collective. It could have been other karmic things. So this could have been things like addictions. It could have been family, really heavy friend influences. I just heard that as well. So it could have been several things, not necessarily romantic when we say third party interference. Also just heard a father figure as well. So if a father or a male figure of some sort could have really interfered here, and ultimately then really pushed a wedge between the two of you, and ultimately then ended in your separation. But I think that this is what you're currently going over, because what you're wanting to do is make healthier choices. This is exactly what I was talking about. So you are wanting to move into far more healthier ways of doing things, healthier choices. So, and not just in love life. This is what I was picking up on. It's not just in love life. This is in your personal life as well. So how you communicate with your friends, your family, the types of relationships that you will accept and not accept into your into your life anymore. I've just heard that you've had a serious frequency upgrade, is what I just heard, which means that your frequency has really been changing a lot of recent. I'm hearing over at least the last 6 to 12 months, like your frequency has really changed quite a lot. And so you really are really understanding what self-love and self-care is about. And then that is then demonstrated, or one of the ways that you demonstrate that is who you actually allow into your life and the types of connections that you have around you. And if they're not, I've just heard, if they're not aligned with your frequency, you're no longer dealing with them, which is a really beautiful place to be in. Really beautiful place. I think there's a lot of shadow work that's been done here, which is it's really great. And like I said, not just in romance, but just in all relationships. I also heard too, for the right collective, that you will have shed of recent times. You will have actually shed a lot of relationships out of your life. I just heard, particularly from a social perspective, I think that there have been some people around you that I think have actually naturally just fallen away. But I heard that you're really quite comfortable with that. I think that you think that it's for the best, because you are making far healthier choices now, which means addictions might have also played into this. I feel like I'm talking to the feminine here, the divine feminine. So I think that addictions probably played into both of your lives. But like I said, you're really healing that out, that part of your shadow, you're really healing it. And then we've got not today, and then we've got engagement ring as well. So not today, so avoiding a conversation called person. I think that this person is avoiding you. You feel that they have still got their avoidant veil on, that they've still got their running boots on. However, I feel like you're also, when you're reminiscing, you are actually still quite unhappy with the way things ended, and that you've got a very clear boundary up around that. Which is then leading to this engagement ring. So I think that either you were engaged to this person, or there was talk of serious discussion. There was a serious discussion about serious commitment. That's what I'm trying to say. And that this was spoken about. I think, though, that as quickly as this was spoken about, I think, and you guys came into union, you were also just as quickly separated again. I don't think that either of you, when this was spoken about or this serious commitment was discussed, I don't think that either of you were in the place where you could actually offer either of you could actually offer this, this long-term partnership, commitment, eternity. I have a feeling that you still want this with this person, that this is still something that's on your mind, especially because you're in this deep reflection. But I don't think that at the time that you guys met each other that it was possible for you to at all to deal with this. I also just heard as well that that you're just thinking to yourself, if a call does come in, you're actually not even sure how you would deal with it, that you might actually end up avoiding it yourself, just because of the boundaries that you put up, because of this self-love that you have for yourself. That will make sense to the right collective. All right. So let's get a few more cards here. I'm going to put this under seduction. Oh, well, that's interesting. We've got coffin, and then we've got girl with the snake. Okay, I just want to deal with these three first. So seduction, right? So this is what we were talking about. So this was the connection that you guys originally had. You're going over that third party, real reminiscing energy here. But then we've got this under sunglasses. So we've got watching, looking, stalking. I certainly hope that you are not stalking this person. I hope that because it's part of your shadow. If you are, it's something that you're really going to have to look at and examine the reasons as to why you are actually looking in at this person. all of those, things around, fear of control, fear of abandonment. I think you're going to have to really look at it. But I don't get that feeling. I feel like, now that I'm looking at this, I think that this is actually this person. I think that you've got a sense that they are actually looking in at you. Maybe this is what has really caused this sudden nostalgia from you, this real Six of Cups energies. Maybe this person has just reached out to you. Either you can energetically feel them looking in, or you've got knowledge that they have, as in they've just come through and liked a story, or you can see them looking at your socials. You've just got knowledge that they've come in, but that they are actually stalking you. I just heard as well, not just in the physical, but also spiritually stalking you as well. So I think that you have got knowledge of this. We've then got the Coffin card under photograph, right? So endings bring new beginnings. So this is you with nostalgia, right? And then right beside with the girl with the snake, this is all around those healthier choices that you are making. So the healthier choices is really like my fake empath card. So those are the kind of people that you bring into your life, that you trust, that you think, are really like your ride or die. I'm hearing. I don't normally say that, so that will really resonate with someone. But those people are not just relationships, but romantic relationships, but friendships. So interesting that I would be picking up that there have been quite a few friendships of late that don't match your frequency and have actually naturally dropped away. This is this girl with this snake. So it's not just about this person who, of course, you let in and you obviously trusted, and then I think you feel quite betrayed by this person on your mind, but also just picking far healthier choices with the people around you. So these types of people that you've had in your life that have really, you felt taken advantage of you've just said no more, and you're putting down some really strong boundaries with them, which then comes to this as well. So the coffin, so really looking back, those old photos, you really are wanting a new beginning here. I think you're very much looking back at this connection that you had with this person, and you're like, actually, my divine counterpart or not, I'm not going to be putting up with stuff anymore from this person. And you're really transitioning out of that. So out of that whole, that real sense, that real need for validation from this person. I just heard that. So you're really just moving out of that. You understand now that the only place that you can get validation from and that real sense of self-esteem is from yourself, that you can't get that from external sources, including this person. And so you're really just healing that out and really stepping into new beginnings with it. That sense of abandonment, I just heard that you just no longer have a sense of abandonment anymore. You're not scared of it. You're no longer scared of abandonment. All right, so not today. Then we've got palm tree. So stability, security, growth, flexibility. And I'll just get one more here under engagement ring. It's way too many. Just one more, please. Engagement ring. There it is. And we've got hammer. All right, so interesting. So we've got the palm tree under not today. So not today, like I said, I think that you are still actually feeling quite annoyed with this person, that even if this person did come through to you, I don't know if you would even respond to this person. You might actually end up avoiding them. You actually might end up becoming the runner. Even if this person does reach out, I just heard, because what you're after is stability, security, performance, growth, flexibility. You're after the palm tree moment with this person. And I just heard, if they're not able to provide a palm tree, if they're not able to provide that stability, security, growth, then you will actually end up becoming the avoider. Because you've got some really clear boundaries around this. This is what you're after. You're after that security, growth, that real, I'm hearing or I'm seeing the real 7 and 8 of Pentacles. You really want something very grounded with this person, and just in general, not just necessarily with this person, but just in general. And then you've got engagement ring, but then you've got hammer. So sabotage, so rebuilding. So this is very much my rebuilding after a tower moment. So funny that we had those cards fall over, because I think that what's happened is that this engagement ring, or this offer of this serious commitment that didn't end up happening, I think did put you into a serious tower. You had a real tower moment. I think that there really was some real heartbreak that was caused when this person left, but you're rebuilding from that, right? So persistence, it's that real rebuild card, which would make sense, the fact that you're making healthier choices. And we've also got the coffin card here as well, so it does make sense that you're moving. Just heard the phrase moving on and moving up. That will resonate with someone. Moving on and moving up. All right, beautiful. So what I want to do is I do want to get the tarot for you. I want to see what your spirit team has to say about this connection, and then we'll tap into this masculine, into this person on your mind. Also, just a quick reminder as well, I do say this little disclaimer in all of my readings that I will be referring to masculine, feminine, him, her. It is not a gendered reading. It just is the nature of these kind of connections, that there is a divine feminine and a divine masculine in these connections. It just depends on what type of trauma you're carrying, what type of shadow you need to heal out, as to which veil you will be allocated. Don't know sort of how to put that better, but it just depends on what type of trauma really you're carrying through this world, and what type of healing you need to do, as to whether you're going to be identifying as either a runner or a chaser. Whether you have a fear of commitment, a fear of being tied down, a fear of just really getting too serious with anybody, and not just in your relationships with romantic relationships, but also just with people in general. Typically that would be the masculine, or the feminine. So that real fear of abandonment, that real need to have validation from external sources. So the feminine energy typically. Or you could have a little bit of both, let's be honest. You could also have a bit of anxious avoidance, which is lots of fun. So anyway, let's get into it. Let's get into the cards. There'll be a reason why I did that regression. I'm actually not going to take that card. I want to just get your energy into these cards first. Oh, that's 8 of Cups. I won't take these cards because they're all just falling out at me, but remember when I said to you specifically 8 of Cups, and there it is. So it's just come out. So very much walking away from things that do not serve you. And then right under that, we've got the Strength card. So that's a little magic, I'll be honest, but that's, of course, Strength. So you are developing a lot of strength through this journey, and really walking away from things that no longer serve you. But we'll keep going. So do this as well. It's to really get your energy through these cards. Like I said, I hope you can see these cards okay. The light in here is not that good at the moment, so bear with me. Okay, so I'm just going to split the deck and just get your overall energy. So we've got Grace. Oh, and then we've got the Queen of Arrows, but in the reverse. So very much you are stepping into, so the Queen of Arrows, so I've just got a few messages coming through for this. So the Queen of Arrows is in reverse, so just so you know as well, so the Queen of Arrows is the Queen of Swords in reverse. So I'm just really getting the feeling here that, so grace is very much around taking time out as well, right? So, but you're coming out of your Queen of Swords energy. So Queen of Swords, interesting, these two cards would come up as your ruling energy. So Queen of Swords is very much around, she really understands herself. She really understands which way she wants to go. She understands her mind. She can also be a bit of um, a bit cold is the word that I'm looking for, right? So there's not a lot of heart, right? It's not, she doesn't lead with compassion first. She leads with her mind first. In the reverse, though, then she can be very. It's really the dark of that. So she can be really quite obsessive. The Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands. Will be a reason why I said that. So Queen of Wands could be a fire sign or dealing with a fire sign. The Queen of Arrows. So she can be quite obsessive. She can be quite a jealous queen as well. So I think that this is really what you're trying to heal out. Also with this Grace card here, so I think that you are really looking to heal. You've been taking time out to heal this about yourself. I feel that this is really around your shadow work that you've been doing. And I don't think that you would have done this without this person coming into your life, that this has been a real reflective time for you. It's a really healing time for you. And like I said, I think that this Queen of Swords in reverse energy is what you have been healing out, and this is what you understand about yourself, which confirms what we were originally picking up, right, with those first cards. So let's keep going. Let's really drill into it. All right, so this is the top row. Let's just get a few more here. Oh gosh, that's way too many. Way too many. I'm being told to take the very first one though, which I will. All right. And then one more, please. Okay. All right, so this is your top row. Okay, so this is really just what your team wants you to know about, right? So I'll bring up these cards a little bit closer to you. So we've got the Ace of Staves or the Ace of Wands, but in the reverse. Right, so I think that for a long time there has been a real blockage here. So that's the Ace of Wands in the reverse. So this is really action that you've wanted, this brand new action that you've wanted to come through from this person, but it just hasn't come through, which is why I was hearing and just confirming that there has been some time since you've seen this person. So this is not someone that you have gone out of contact with just very recently. This is someone that you have been out of contact with for really quite some time. And that's why we've got this in reverse here. So this has been a real lack of action, a real stalemate between the two of you for quite a while. And I think that this is really what you're reflecting on. This is really very much, this is you going over, just seeing you going over those old photographs. I just don't think that this is something that you're just saying to yourself, I don't want to put up with this anymore. Divine connection or not, like I'm moving on, moving up is what I just keep hearing over and over again. Because then we've got the Three of Cups. So this generally means a couple of things. The Three of Cups, and this is in the blocking row as well. So we've got, I think, so this is very much the friendship card. So a lack of friendship between the two of you, a lack of communication, a lack of union between the two of you. So there's been no contact here. A lot. Does that make sense? There's for a long time, it's probably a better way of putting it. For a long time, there's been no contact. So there's been no friendship. There's been no coffee cup. Really, it's kind of like my coffee cup. You know, hey, do you want to catch up for a coffee? Kind of a card. The other thing at the Three of Cups, typically this is in reverse, but I'm being told that I should need to mention this, even though this is in the upright, that this is also around third parties, right? And I think that that is confirming exactly how this person made you feel. You may even have understanding that there really was a third party here involved. Maybe this person actually did choose someone over you as well. And I don't mean to say that to be hurtful, but maybe they actually did. Maybe this person has tried to move on from you as well. I just heard maybe you've also tried to move on from this person. Like legitimately, you might have actually had somebody else. So maybe you might even be dating someone. Maybe you might have just had a couple of coffee dates with someone as well. I just heard that. So that will actually resonate for some of you. I don't think that you can get over this person though. And I think it's frustrating the heck out of you, actually, the fact that you can't get over this person. And I think that if this person did choose a third party over you, I think that that is really, really playing on your mind a lot. Because then we've got the Magician in reverse as well. So the Magician is or magic. So the Magician is very much around, manifestations, understanding your power, bringing that in. But this is really in the reverse here. So once again, just speaking to the blockers, I think that for a long time you were trying to manifest this person in. Doesn't actually happen for divine counterparts, I have to say. You can try as hard as you might to try and manifest this person in. It's just not possible. They have to be released to you by the universe, by the divine. They're the only time you guys are actually brought into union with each other. And I know that this is going to sound really frustrating, but it will only happen when the time's right and in divine timing. It will not be released to you before that. So you can try to manifest in. I just heard also you might have been trying to call this person in very recently, or you went through a phase of trying to call this person in. I certainly hope that you weren't actually doing magic spells. You actually might be a bit of a witchy, whoever I'm speaking with. I certainly hope you weren't trying to do magic spells to bring this person in as well. I just heard that, because you can't with divine counterparts. They're not a karmic. These are actually divine, which means the divine brings them in. The divine then also removes them or separates you. Not remove, but actually separates you. So you can actually get a little bit of karma as well if you're trying to call this person back in. If you are actually doing some spell work, you actually can get into a bit of trouble with that. So I would just be really careful with the type of energy you're putting out there. That will really resonate. That will really resonate with someone who's listening to this. But they're not karmic connections. They're only released to you when those veils are lifted by the divine. They're the only ones that can do this. But there has definitely been a blockage here between the two of you. We've then got the Ace of Arrows, but the Ace of Arrows in reverse. So the Ace of Swords in the reverse. Ace of Swords is all around truth, revelation, right? Coming through to you, actually something being granted to you. I'm really seeing my lightning card, like that real revelation that just comes through. I think that you feel there has been a lot of untruths here. So there's been a real lack of clarity, a lot of truth to come through, which is why you're setting your boundaries, which is why you're really saying to yourself, divine counterpart or not, I'm just not putting up with this stuff anymore. I'm just not putting up with it. And then we've got the Six of Cups, but in the reverse. So the Six of Cups, not surprised this came out. So this is all around reminiscing. So this would be your third card of reminiscing now. So you really have put this person under review at the moment. You're really reviewing everything. So the Six of Cups, but it's also come out in the reverse as well. So Six of Cups is around, well, for me, this is around really that childhood wounding. So it's really internal reflection. In the reverse, so internal reflection is really you working on your shadow. And all of this that's happened has really led to you the outcome of you of really this amazing shadow work that you've been doing. So really examining that shadow, that baggage that you've been carrying through since your childhood, that wounding is really what you've been working on, which is beautiful. It's what we're called to do in these types of connections. All right, so we've got that Ace of Wands. We've got real blockers here though. Look, we've got, Magic in reverse, Ace of Arrows, Ace of Staves, all in reverse. Okay, so we've got, so underneath that, then we've got the Three of Staves. So this is really around waiting for ships to come in, right? This is really, really waiting for action to come through, which makes sense that it's come up under this blocker. So we've had this blocker here, but then we've really got, it's really a planning card as well. So not only are you waiting, like for this message, this contact to come through, I think you're in a bit of a stalemate at the moment over this. I think for quite a while you really have been sitting in Three of Staves, really waiting for that distance to close, waiting for this communication with this person to come in, ultimately waiting for that coffee cup, that Three of Cups to come in, is what I'm hearing. And then we've got the Ten of, okay, so this is the Ten of Wands, Ten of Stave, which is all around really that a lot of burdens. This connection has been really burdensome, no, you know what I'm trying to say, on you, but you're really trying to put that down now, right? Really trying to come out of that, trying to move on to far healthier cycles in life. I think that for a long time that this lack of communication, this feeling like a third party, this real stalemate that you are at with this person really was creating a lot of burdens in your life, but you're wanting to put those down now. You're no longer wanting this to be as a blocker in your life. Oh, these both wanted to come out straight away. All right, so we've got Ace of Coins and the Eight of Arrows. So Ace of Coins. Wow, you've got the three aces have all come out. So Ace of Coins is really around that new abundant path, that new offer really coming through from the universe, which has come out in the reverse. I always see a bridge here as well. I'm always drawn to this bridge. So really the bridge between yourself and this person on your mind. I always see this little tower here as well. So I always feel like, after a tower moment, really building this bridge and having this Ace of Coins come through to you is really what you were trying to manifest, right? I think this is what you were trying to manifest through for a long time, is this real connection from this person, this real grounded, stable offer. So the coins or the pentacles is a really grounded, stable offer to come through. But this hasn't come through. I think, like I said, for a long time you've been trying to manifest this in. But I think you're understanding too that you can't have control over this, that only the divine has control of that. And that's also a layer that you need to work through, which I think that you are doing. I think that you understand that. But this is really, it's really led to a real stalemate. I think for a long time, you've been really wanting the Ace of Coins to come through, which just has not come through. Then we've got the Ace of Arrows, so that truth, which then led to a real Eight of Arrows moment, right? This untruth that you see, this lack of revelation, this lack of honesty. I just heard that this lack of honesty with this person really led to an Eight of Arrows, which really is that real internal mind ache. Really, it's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of it's just a very sad energy. Like there's just a lot of sorrow. I'm just hearing that word sorrow here. But it's also, I do have to say that it is, the Eight of Arrows is also quite self-inflicted as well, because we're actually not being, so in, especially in the traditional deck, but you can also see here too, there's nothing that's actually holding her there in these arrows. This girl here, she can actually get up and walk away. She can leave it behind at any time that she wants. So I think that you are understanding that this lack of truth, this lack of closure, I just heard as well from this person, was keeping you in 8 of arrows, right? But I think you understand that you can put down those arrows. You can walk out of those arrows. You can put that down at any time. That you can actually find your own closure. That's what I just heard. You know now that you no longer need to sit in this. All right, and then we've got the 6 of Cups in the reverse. Oh, that's way too many. All right, because then we've got the Princess of Arrows. So that is the page. Sorry, not the page, the Knight. The Knight of Swords, or the Princess. But we'll keep this the Princess of Arrows. The Princess. So what she is around is she is very much around that offer that you want, that truth, that revelation to come through to you. You're really wanting the masculine to come through to provide that insight. And given that it's come through under this 6 of Cups, I'm getting a couple of things with this. I'm getting that this is this offer that you really want to come through. Also, too, you might be dealing with an air sign. I think I might have said that before. I think your masculine might actually be an air sign, or you could be an air sign. I'm just hearing straight away Gemini, but it could be any of the Libra as well. But given that this is coming up in the under the 6 of Cups, I think that you have had a lot of truth and revelation yourself, that you're actually stepping into this energy, that you've been able to really see, you know, how your patterns are, what your triggers are, how you can live far healthier, is what I just heard. But you are also, I think, stepping into your Princess of Arrows energy as well. I think you are starting to really become a master of your mind, that you're now a truth seeker. I just heard that. You're actually a truth seeker. So you're wanting that truth to come through from this masculine, and you are a truth seeker, is what I just heard, which is all around boundaries, right? It's all around boundaries. All right, beautiful. Okay, so that's your energy. That's really what's happening with you. So let's get into this masculine. Oh, I want to see how he is viewing this connection. I do want to see that, and then we'll get the tarot as well. So I'm just going to bring out your energy. I want to get a couple of oracle cards as well. I just want to check his energy. But firstly, I just want to see what's going on around him. How is he actually viewing this connection? So I'm going to get these picture cards in the Broken Mirror deck. I'm going to get the masculine's energy into these. I'm just going to see how this masculine is seeing this connection. Oh, did I? Yes. Well, that's really interesting. So straight away we had pictures. So reminiscing, missing you. You guys are probably mirroring each other, I would imagine. But he is also deeply in 6 of Cups energy. So if you are divine counterparts, there really is a mirror straight between the two of you. So if you're reminiscing, then it doesn't surprise me that he's reminiscing as well. So you've both got pictures on your phone saved of each other. You've both got videos. I just heard a few cheeky videos. That's what I just heard. All right, how is this masculine seeing this connection? All right, I'm just going to split the deck. We do have a couple of cards, of course, already, but I just want to split the deck here and just see what's happening between the two of you or how he's seeing this. All right, so you can't make this stuff up. Okay, you really can't. So you guys have basically got the same cards. So Netflix and chill. So this is the relationship that you guys had. So you both you saw it like this, and so did this masculine. You're both reminiscing over it, right? We've already discussed the fact that he is actually looking up over your old photos, and that this is the type of connection that you guys had. So, you know, so it really was like a Netflix and chill type relationship. It was a short-lived romance, but also the fact that he made you feel like a third party. He knows this, and I think that he's got real deep regret over this. I do think that he probably chose a third party over you. I don't mean that to be hurtful to anyone. I think you will already know this, whether you've actually got hard evidence of that or you intuitively know. I think that you already know that there was definitely a third party. I'm feeling it might have been romantic, but like I said in the very beginning of this reading, it might not have been romantic. I also was hearing like around father as well, family influence. But back to this. So I think that this is something that you guys, that he's really reminiscing with the way that he treated you, that he made you really feel like this third party option. And I think that he's in deep regret over the decision that he made, whatever that was, because he sees you as his soulmate, as his soul contract. So spiritual union is what he's wanting, but he sees you as his divine feminine, as his counterpart. He knows how special this connection is. Regardless of whether you guys have been in separation or not, you both know how special you guys are to each other. But he does see you as his soul contract. I just heard as well that you had a discussion when you first met each other that you were like, wow, like I can't believe I've met you. I feel like I've known you before. Like how on earth did we meet? Like we were supposed to meet each other. And in actual fact, the reason that you feel like that is because you have met each other in multiple lifetimes before. But yes, he definitely sees you still as his twin flame. I just heard twin flame straight away. So I wonder if the twin flame card will come out. All right, a couple more for the top row. That's way too many, but we do have no contact. So clearly you guys are not in contact with each other at the moment. I will take this one. All right, so this was just your top row here. Oh, Netflix and chill. It's come back out again. So clearly this is what this masculine is reminiscing about in this Netflix and chill. So he's got regrets about it. Like I said, I think that he chose a third party over you and he's really in deep regret because we've then got denial, obsession, attraction, infatuation. So pictures, infatuating. He is a really I'm hearing quite obsessed with you. Yeah, I don't think that there is a day that goes by that you are not on this masculine's mind. Is what I just heard. I think that he really is in deep infatuation, which means that you guys are mirroring each other. And I just keep seeing that 5 of Cups card, that real regret, deep regret over the decisions that were made here. Because then we've got dating, so new love options back on the market. I think this is how this masculine is scared. He's really concerned that you may have found new love in this time apart. So new options back on the market. I did pick up when I first got that first deck is that you potentially are dating or you were dating, or you've been on a couple of dates. If that's the case, I think that this masculine knows, because I think that this is something that's really, really playing on his mind a lot, is the fact that he may have waited too long. to come through to you. Once again, though, it all has to happen for a reason, though. It is all under divine timing. I feel like this masculine has probably written you 100 messages and it just keeps deleting them. I'm just seeing this masculine just sitting there on his phone, just scrolling, typing out a message, deleting. That's what I'm seeing. But yeah, I think he's definitely thinking that you're potentially back on the market. Or if you have, like I said, if you have been on dating sites, maybe he's seen you on a dating site or something like that. That will really resonate with someone. All right, but we've got broken mirror. So addictions, roller coaster, toxic connection. This is how you guys were when you were in contact with each other. So when I said that there were addictions, so you are mirroring each other. I've said that as well. So when you're mirroring each other, so when you're in a divine connection, if you're feeling really anxious and sad, then that actually goes through the ties to each other. So he will be picking up on that as well. But addictions, I think that addictions were really a huge part of your connection. And then it was a roller coaster. I think that for the connection between the two of you at the time that you were in contact with each other probably was quite toxic. Hence the fact you guys needed to be separated so that you could each go and heal. But I think that this is very much what he's reminiscing on. Also, too, if he's thinking about this, it means that he's probably on his own healing journey as well, which means he's probably trying to heal out his shadow, I would imagine. All right, so we've got pictures, reminiscing. And then we've got hurting, so crying, obsession, pain, sorrow. I think that there is a hurricane of emotion within this masculine at the moment. He is really in deep, like I said, I just keep seeing the Five of Cups, that Five of Cups card. He is really thinking about you at the moment. So Netflix and chill. So this makes sense, right? And this is what he's going over, is that even though he made you feel like a third party, I think underneath it, he actually was secretly completely infatuated with you, completely in love. Right? And I think that he really made the wrong decision here. And I think that he is very, very much in regret. Because, and this is all part of his avoidant veil, right? Like just put up that barrier with you, not let you in, of course, because you would have really highlighted to this masculine the areas of his life that he needs to fix. You know, his trauma that he has to face into, his shadow work that he has to start. And he would have done exactly what all avoidants do. Is the only coping mechanism they have is to avoid. So he would have shut you out, made you feel like a third party, and then put his running boots on and then run for the hills, basically, which is what they do. And then what happens is that the universe will then give this masculine karmic relationship after karmic situation for as long as it takes for them to finally give in and surrender to the shadow work that they need to do. But they will just keep getting karmic relationship after karmic cycle. This masculine probably felt, I'm just hearing cursed. He probably had so many karmic situations and relationships put in front of him. These toxic connections that I think that I'm just hearing cursed. Like that since you've gone out of his life, he's feeling cursed. But underneath it all, like, you know, he made you feel like this third party, but underneath it all, like, he had deep love for you. Which is, I know it's so frustrating to hear, but it all has to happen. All right, so we've got infatuation. All right, but then under that, then we've got broke, living beyond their means. Interesting that would come up after that. I think that this is what the energy that the masculine was when he first met you. I think that this is what's going over in his mind is the situation when he first met you. Is that he, yes, in complete infatuation with you. He is obsessed. There is deep attraction there for you. You know, hiding his true feelings, but it's because of this. I think that he was both. I just keep seeing broke, not necessarily fired, but it's a real like broken, not just financially. I don't think he was in a very good place financially when he met you, but just spiritually as well. Just in a very broken state. I think both of you were, which is very typical. That's what happens when you meet your divine counterpart, is you are in really broken situations, probably far more broken than you even realize at the time. But that's, part of his shadow that he needs to heal out. All right, then we've got dating. Like I said, I heard that he's found you on a dating website. He's come across your photos on a dating website, which is causing this hurricane of emotion in him, which will then ricocheting back to you again. And then we've got this desire. So this, of course, is how he's feeling about you, right? So I think that he thinks that you might be out there dating, but this desire for you has never left. I think that this is really what he's very much concerned about, is that you are moving on, that you found somebody else. Put that on there. But that his desire for you has never wavered. It's never gone. And this is also, around this obsession card, this deep attraction, infatuation with you, the desire, it's never gone. All right, so broken mirror. And then we've got red flags. Makes sense that would come up, right? So that was, all of those things that ultimately led to the separation between the two of you, that real toxicity. And then, really big red flags, the deception that was there, well, I'm seeing cheating. Don't know if that was necessarily cheating, but definitely made you feel like a third party. But all of those red flags that were between the two of you. I've just heard that he's going over everything in his life that makes him a big red flag. I just heard that. Everything that makes him a big red flag is what he's currently looking at. He's currently reviewing it all. It's all under review in his life. So it also makes sense that everything's under review in your life. So you're looking at all of your, relationships around you, and you're, setting up boundaries. This masculine is also doing the same. He's also looking at it all. He's also looking at everything in his life that's a big red flag. All of those toxic connections in his life. I think he's trying to also get rid of it. Okay, so that's sort of his overall energy. What I want to do is I want to get the oracle card. So we're talking a lot about this healing, right, that this masculine is doing, that everything in his life is also under review. So I want to get I'm going to use a little book here. I'm just sitting. Right, so what kind of healing is this masculine doing, right? What kind of energy is he sitting in? So that's how he sees the connection, but what kind of energy is he in? So like I said, I will look at the guidebook for these. Well, let's do this. What kind of energy is your masculine sitting in? What does his healing journey look like? Oh, okay. All right. I was only going to take 3, but I guess 4 want to come out. So let's have a look. Okay. This wasn't the first card that came out, but okay, so these 4 here. But I'm being told, let's actually deal with this one. So soul time. Oh, no, we've got sacral. Okay, so he's working on a sacral chakra. So he really is healing out here. We've got universal love and then dynamic as well. All right, so let's get soul time first. So I want to look at this one. So number 40. So this could actually be an important number. I hope you can see this on the screen. So the frequency of soul time asks us to allow the possibility of a new reality to emerge, one that embraces the concept that while the get this out in a second. The corporeal body is mortal. The soul is timeless, limitless, and infinite. So I think he's doing deep shadow work is what I think is happening. But let's confirm. Let's get the book. So number 40. If I can find it. Right, number 40. Okay. So, all right, so as part of a duality-based world, so this is all around balancing yin and yang. Very interesting. So he really is doing a lot of soul work. I think you would be shocked and amazed by how much healing he's done. The concept of time has been defined throughout human history as a linear with past, present, and future. However, we look back at where we come from, apply lessons learned to our present, and move forward with expectations that are derived from the past. So real deep inner healing he's doing. Linear time has been comprehensible and has made our future somewhat predictable. The story of our human history is told from the viewpoint that we are born into this world once we leave. Get my words out in a second. The story of our human history is told from the viewpoint that we are born into this world once and leave when we physically die. A straightforward history. Now, what we are awakening into is a consciousness of a much larger story than a singular lifetime on Earth and a defined three-dimensional reality. We slowly start to realize that time as we know is no longer applies. Besides going back into the past and going forward into the future, we find spaces that are far and in between, spaces that are infinite and non-linear. We arrived in soul time. So he is doing deep shadow work. Like I said, I think that you would be really shocked and amazed about how far he's actually come. Also, too, he is stepping into his spirituality. I don't think that you know this about this person at all, but I think that he has a deep spirituality. You're masculine, and that he's really stepping into. I just heard as well, self-love, but also love for his spirit team. I think he's been doing a lot of spirit work as well and really stepping into his mission work. I heard that real mission work. But interesting that you would both get that it's real 6 of Cups and reverse energy. So really looking back at the past, reminiscing, healing out. You're both reminiscing, you're both mirroring this in each other, which is really beautiful. But there's a lot of inner work being done here. The next one we've got here is the sacral chakra. So this is all around self-esteem. So the frequency of the sacral chakra, the orange flower of life, supports our ability to flow with our desires and stimulates our creative power to manifest success and abundance in our lives. So it's a really beautiful energy, but this is specifically, so his sacral chakra for quite a while might have actually been quite blocked as well. I'm just hearing that. And he's finally understanding about chakras as well, about energy flow. Part of his soul time, part of his spiritual awakening is he's learning about his different chakras. And at the moment he's working on his sacral chakra. So the flower of life is geometric shape recognized by many cultures over the planet. It consists of 13 equal circles that intersect in the middle of each circle. Just going to turn the page here. Creating a perfectly proportioned flower. As a symbol, the flower of life represents the universe as a whole, as well as the harmony in which we all separate components of the universe working together. This beautiful pattern is often used to indicate an understanding of our connection as humans and spiritual beings to the whole. The color orange is associated with the second or third sacral chakra located just below the navel. It is linked to the creativity, sensuality, and emotional world. Orange encourages movement and connection with others and has a freeing effect on the body and mind, stimulating creative thinking, abundance, success, and appetite. It's also sense of taste. So he could be really developing a sense of taste now. But this is also all around self-esteem as well. So it's really around just really reflecting on the inner work that he's doing. Also really working on connections with others. So his connection with spirit, his connection with those around him, really finding a lot healthier ways of living, ways of being. I think he's also getting over his addictions as well, but really just getting that sacral energy really going, really moving through his body, through his life, which is really beautiful energy. But really his connection with those around him, and just really getting rid of those toxic energies around is what I just keep hearing. Also, what keeps coming up in the cards, and you're both doing this. You're actually both mirroring each other. I keep putting this to the side. So for whatever reason, Spirit wants me to look at that last. But number 44, so universal love. So you could also be seeing 444 as well. A lot. So angel numbers, you could be seeing a lot of signs and synchronicities around you. But we've got 444 here. Also 24, fourth of the second of the fourth. Just heard that. But the universal love. So the frequency of universal love attracts the connection we feel to each other, to our planet, and to the whole of existence itself. So the number 44. So love is probably the most sought after, mysterious, indeterminate, I'll get my words out, and fulfilling feeling that a human can experience. Its mystery surely derives from the fact that we cannot really describe or define what it is. Is it energy? Is it emotion? Perhaps it is simply the glue that binds everything together. Whatever it is, we know without a doubt when we feel loved and when we are in love. As vibrational beings, we hold a frequency that aligns with the frequency of our thoughts and our emotions. And from the vibrational point of attention, we attract everything else into our reality. Love is one of the highest frequencies. When we are in a state of love, we easily attract circumstances and people into our reality that are aligned with our frequency. I said this in the very first deck when I was reading your energy, which is why you guys are so beautifully mirroring each other, is that you have upgraded your frequency. So is your masculine. Your masculine is also upgrading frequency. And those people that are no longer aligning with his frequency are falling away as well. You're not the only one that this is going through. So is your masculine. Human beings are capable of feeling deep compassion and love, not just for one another, but for all life in general. How do you describe what a parent feels towards their child? How do friends feel towards each other, or the love between siblings, among family members or pets, or even the way we feel about our planet and its inhabitants? Love is a powerful force that drives our actions, motivates our behaviors, and can change the course of our lives. And perhaps the very reason that we are capable of such deep feelings is that nothing fuels our desire for change and evolution more than love that we are able to feel, which is just beautiful energy. So he is really understanding, I heard, love for the first time, which means he's really switched on and really activated to this journey. Like I said, I think that you are going to be really, really shocked when this masculine does come through as to how much healing has occurred. But he's switching frequencies. Just as your frequency is changing, so is his. And then finally we get to dynamics, so the number 23. So the frequency of dynamics supports our ability to harmonize between layers and aspects of different origin of frequency. We've got the frequency again. And it helps us to put together a reality that is made up of many different elements, both familiar and completely new, with ease, grace, and great joy. All about frequency again. I think this is just going to confirm everything that we've been talking about, is that he's also going through his own frequency upgrade. So the word dynamic can be described as an energetic force or process that is constantly changing. When we talk about the dynamics of something. We refer to the way it works or interacts. Now we add the words vibrant and full of life. We have a perfect description of what dynamic entails in the new energy. The triangular shape and color of this activation, so he is activated to the journey, there we go, refers to the masculine aspect. This is magic, which is full of direction, power, and presence. All the secular shapes refer to the infinite and powerful aspects of the feminine while representing the mechanism of the dynamic process, one that brings together different aspects, harmonizes them, and makes them work together. The result is a process that is alive with energy, movement, color, and change. Just by witnessing this process, one automatically becomes part of it, as nothing that is witnessed remains unaffected. So the activation of the dynamic, so he is absolutely activated to this journey. It's about bringing together things that do not typically go together, whether it be colors, styles, words, music, and even food. With dynamic, we bring harmony wherever we go, intuitively sensing how everything works together. We shine our light brightly with vibrant color for everyone to see and experience. Yeah, so he's going through a serious frequency upgrade. He is really stepping into love. He's looking at his self-esteem, sacral chakra, how he communicates with others, how he builds connection, real inner work with his team, with his spirit team. There's been a lot of work here done by the masculine. He is really activated to the frequency, to the healing frequency, which ultimately will then lead him back to you again. All right. So that is really beautiful. So that's how the masculine sees his connection. That's the healing journey, what he's healing out. So I guess the next question would be is what is next for this connection? What does this masculine want in this connection? So I want to get, what are the masculine's next steps going to be? That's what I want to see. And I feel like I need to get the angel deck for this. I was going to get the little black cards, but I'm being told I need to get a little angel deck. So let's do that. All right, what are the next steps for this masculine when it comes to this connection? Spirit, what's going on? Yep, okay. It's a lot of fire energy as well. You might be, I think I might have even said this before, but you could actually be dealing with a fire sign. But there's just a lot of action here. We've got a lot of wands so far. We've got 7 of wands in reverse, King of wands in the upright. All right, so that's the top row here, and then we'll just get a confirmation row as well. I do believe this came out in this order. Nine of wands, okay. All right, so this is for next actions and this connection from this masculine. So we've got 7 of wands, but in the reverse. So 7 of wands is really around making a stand, right? It's really around setting up boundaries. And it's also that there is this, I'm hearing that there's been this boundary set between the two of you. So this masculine is, because it's in the reverse here though, is it means that there's a lack of boundary or a lack of, I'm just hearing that there's been, he wants to come out of no contact with you. He wants to come through to you is what I just heard. He wants to come out of the 7 of wands energy. I think if you've got I'm just hearing if you've got this person blocked, he's waiting for you to unblock him so that he can come through. I just heard that. If you do have him blocked, it's really just sit with spirit and just ask if that's the best thing that you do. having him blocked though is a strange one, because it's like, if you do want him to come through to you, but you have him blocked, then how is he going to come through to you, right? So just sit and just sit with your team and just ask if that's actually the best course of action for you to be in. Is it, yeah, if he has no way of contacting you, then how would you expect him to be coming through to you? But anyway, yeah, I mean, that will resonate with someone. But we've got Seven of Wands energy. Or if you don't want him to come through to you, then of course keep him blocked. But if you do want him to come through to you, if he's blocked, how can he, right? So, but we've got Seven of Wands in the reverse. I'm not saying reach out. By no means am I saying reach out. That's a step that the masculine has to take. But he has to be able to take that step to you, right? Okay, I think you get my point. All right, so Seven of Wands in the reverse. He wants to come through. He wants that barrier to come down between the two of you, and he wants to come through as a King of Wands. So King of Wands is a real beautiful energy. That is really like, you want a King of Wands. He's a bit of a, what's the word I'm looking for? He's a bit what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say I can't think of it. It's a very charismatic, that's the word I'm looking for. Thank you, Spirit. It's a very charismatic energy, the King of Wands, but also too, like, he understands exactly what he wants in this life. It's also a very fast acting energy, which means he wants to make a beeline towards you. He wants to come out of this blocked energy with you, and he wants to come through as the King of Wands. All right, because then we've got the Nine of Wands. Right, it's a lot of action here. This is what I mean. I think that whatever is going to come through to you, he wants this to happen quickly. Right, the Knight of Wands, though, in the upright, that is really around you've come through to the end of a cycle, and that you are really feeling a little bit battle weary, really, especially with in the original deck. Like, you've got like a bandage around your head, like you've really kind of been through the walls, but through the wars, but you're standing there, and you're willing to take a stand. You're willing to protect that you have earned, right? So it's really coming through to the end of the cycle. It's also a very protective energy as well. So you've been through the wars, and now you understand which direction to go, what you're wanting to do, and which action to take, and now you're going to take a stand against, right? That, right? You're really taking a stand. You're standing up for yourself. There has been a lack of that, though, in this masculine's life, and he understands this is what he's trying to do. Is he's trying to close out those karmic cycles. He has been afraid to take a stand in the past to actually protect everything that he has earned, and he understands that this has been a real blocker, and this is what he's working on. Right, because then we've got the Ace of Wands. So this is taking that action towards you. It was in the reverse for you. It's now in the upright for him, right? This is what he wants to do. He wants to come through to you with an Ace of Wands, which is what I mean. I don't think that this is going to be very long, and you're going to have something come through to you. like this is it. This is that action, that step towards you, is the Ace of Wands that you have been wanting for so long. Because then we've got our Knight of Wands, but we've got the Knight of Wands in reverse. So the Knight of Wands, and in this context, it can come through in a couple of different contexts in the reverse for me. But in the upright, this is very much my player card, which is how he will have presented towards you. You know, it's very impulsive. There's not a lot of substance to his actions. Can be quite a sort of a jealous kind of a knight as well, but really it's quite player energy. He's got a lot of wands out there, but he's wanting to come out of that Knight of Wands energy. He's wanting to come through to you with an offer. He's wanting to come through as the King of Wands, which is why I'm thinking that you are dealing with a fire sign, or just someone who's now got some real action behind him, which means I don't think it's going to be very long till you're hearing from this masculine. All right, let's just get a couple of cards here just to confirm. So we've got Seven of Wands, and then we've got the Nine of Pentacles, beautiful energy, and then 10 of Cups. in the reverse. But we'll deal with this. So we've got 9 of, so wanting to come out of that 7 of Wands energy, you know, really wanting to close that gap, that distance between the two of you for what that boundary that's been set between the two of you. He's really wanting to get rid of that because he wants to step into 9 of Pentacles. So the 9 of Pentacles is really that real beautiful stable offer. That's very much a commitment card. The 9 of Pentacles, like you've been through the 8, like you've come through, you've mastered your Pentacles, you've mastered the relationships around you, your life, and you're wanting to step into 9 of Pentacles. And this is what he wants to do with you. So he wants to reach out. I'm just hearing this. He wants to reach out. He wants the 9 of Pentacles. He wants commitment, which might be really surprising for whoever this reading is for to actually hear. But he actually wants commitment. And also, too, I just heard as well that he sees you as the 9 of Pentacles. So the 9 of Pentacles, she's actually a very beautiful card. You know, it's a very glow-uppy card. She's a very beautiful princess, really, the 9 of Pentacles, and I think that's how he sees you as well. As you might have even gone through a glow up yourself recently that he's been able to see. He might actually, I just heard that you're looking pretty good. I just heard that, so I think he knows that. And then we've got that King of Wands, but then the 10 of Cups in reverse. So this is in the blocker, right? Is that he really wants to come through as this King of Wands. I'm surprised this has come through in the reverse, but this 10 of Cups really is wish fulfillment, right? That is really, I shouldn't say wish fulfillment, I should say emotional fulfillment. That is really the end of the rainbow, right? In fact, rainbows might also resonate with you as well. You might be about to see a rainbow. You might have just seen a rainbow. But that's really that 10 of Cups in the upright, which is really around that true emotional fulfillment is how he sees you. It's a beautiful energy to be in. But he understands that that's been in reverse, right? That he's going to have to come through as this King of Wands if he wants this card to be in the upright. Because at the moment, it's sitting in the reverse, right? There's a real lack of emotional intimacy between the two of you, which he knows, but he wants to come through to fix this. All right, so we've got 9 of Wands. In the reverse. All right. Then we've got the Magician. Okay, so he's also manifesting you in. He's trying to manifest you in. All right, you've both got this card. You guys are mirroring each other like crazy. I know how frustrated you are at the moment, but you are mirroring each other like you wouldn't believe. You really do have that mirror in between the two of you. Just because you can't see each other in the 3D doesn't mean that you don't have a serious connection with this person. But he's also manifesting you. He's also stepping into his magical power as well. I just heard that. So Ace of Wands. We've also got the Page of Wands. But no, we'll take this one. So the World. I'm being told to take this in the upright. This is around new cycles. Also the number 21. So 21, for some reason, I just got told to call that out as well. So the number 21 could also be really relevant. But the World, this is around new beginnings. So the Ace of Wands, he wants to come through that brand new action. He wants to start a new cycle with you. He wants that new connection, that new relationship. And then he's coming out of that Knight of Wands energy. Thank goodness. And healing out his shadow. And then last card just to confirm. Oh, they're being very picky about this card. We've had, okay, I can't take all of those. I'm not going to take all of those. I just want one card, please. There we go. What is this card? The Ace of Swords. Interesting that would come out in reverse, but that's that revelation. That's that revelation that you've been wanting to do. So he's wanting to come out of Knight of Swords with a revelation. He knows that there has been untruths here, right? This is because it's in the reverse. So he knows that there has been a lack of truth here. He knows that he hasn't been honest, right? Because of his Knight of Wands behavior, he understands, but he wants to come through with you with this revelation, both on what happened, but also because you're a truth seeker now, right? You are also wanting that truth, and he knows that. So he wants to come through to you with the truth, but he also knows that this has been a serious blocker here. He knows he has to come through and offer you this. But there is so much want energy here. I honestly don't think that there's going to be. I mean, these are his next steps. So I absolutely think, I mean, the cards are saying it, that you've got quite quickly. And then, like, I mean, Ace of Wands typically means days to weeks with the Wands energy, but you have got something on the horizon very soon coming to you, I should say. Like I said, real Wands energy, real fire energy. Oh, beautiful. Okay, that really does finish the reading. So thank you very much for that. That was really lovely to read that energy, actually. So look, if you have made it all the way, I'll get my words out in a second. If you have made it all the way through to the end of this reading, I would ask that you like and subscribe. Of course, it does help me, of course, but more importantly, given I'm such a brand new channel here to YouTube, it actually helps these messages get out to those that need to hear them. This will actually provide assistance too. So I would ask that you help in that way. But that is it for today. So I'll leave it there, and I will see you in the next reading.